This is your hidden Bitcoin price action signals that nobody's talking about. Hi everyone, and if you're new here, I'm Gabby Trades and I do live technical analysis on crypto and equities. So if that sounds good to you, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone, how's everyone doing? Who's here? Trader Eddie, Kuhn, Bullfred, Paul Premier, watching you from the treadmill today. Okay, pump the energy. You guys, stocks are back, bounced back. They're up today after hitting their lowest point since March. But the big question is, what will happen next? With Liberation Day coming up tomorrow, the market could take a major turn. The S&P 500 just had its worst quarter since 2009, while gold has its best since 1986. Could this be the perfect time to buy the dip? Some signals suggest that it might be it. Some of them are such as fear in the market, hedge funds betting against stocks, and the big banks lowering their expectations. But these are normal times, and predicting what happens next is not easy. And what's a key factor? The new trade tariffs. Now, if US announces major ones, and that would mean over 10%, Wall Street could see another sell-off. So right now, it's really unclear what the final decision will be, and they're not making it any easier for us. So this is making the next few days extremely critical for investors. Now, I want to show you how I navigate these uncertain markets and how I intraday trade during these times. But before we get started, again, please like the video and don't forget, we have our internal trading competition that we will run in my small community for a price of $200. Now, we already have few signups, and if you're interested in participating, please drop me a DM in one of my social media accounts. You can find the link for these in the description box of this video. And we have Franco's here. Hi. We have one more announcement, and that is to get your hands on the biggest discount that I've done so far for my trading indicators. You can do that today, and you can find the link for that in with the code for the discount in the live chat box if you're live with me right now, or you can find it in the comments after we finish today's video. I can tell you the code. The code is April, all capitals, and you can get 20% off of my trading indicators. So if that all sounds good to you guys, let's move on to the charts because we have a lot to talk about today. It's not just any day in the markets, so we need to tread very, very carefully. Franco, join our cult for free. You guys are killing me. Oh my God, my mom will be so proud of you. join my daughter's cult. Oh yes, I know. We're not a cult, come on now. Mark, I wish I could get your indicators, just can't. Sorry, Gabby. No, that's absolutely fine, Mark. Don't worry, you're in the Discord, you're a VIP member, so I always post the charts over there. So even if you don't have, yes, Taz Pinball, Super Grape, he knows. Oh my God, I love it when you guys catch my jokes. You know, a lot of my friends are like, what are these jokes that you are, laughing about? I'm like, you just don't get it. What can I do? Oh, but Taspinbo gets it. Okay, you guys, come on, be active in the chat again, because once I move the screen, all the chat disappears and nobody can see it anymore. But anyway, we need to focus on the charts now. So let me adjust the screen a little bit here. Okay, all right, let's start. So first of all, I want to know if anyone from my Discord yesterday caught the long that I called right before I went to sleep, which ended up being, oh no, you must be joking me. Come on now, I didn't put, another one. Okay, anyway, well, spoiler alert, this was the entry, the long entry here. Let's have, this was for now, I was planning it for now. Actually, we're gonna discuss on this trade right now. It seems like it was just tagged. I thought it's not gonna happen before I start my stream, but this is what happens when I start streaming. My trading goes to hell. But no, I'm sure we're gonna find a re-entry here. But anyway, last night's entry was down here. perfect entry off of this inverted fair value gap into a buy zone. It was just absolutely beautiful. So actually, no, this buy zone was not existent because it got born in this leg up that broke structure. So the buy zone was not existent. Actually, we already entered off of this support and massive rejection off of it. We had this internal fair value gap entry here last night, and I said I'm not taking this because I'm going to sleep and I don't really care. I'm sure we're gonna find an entry tomorrow, which was the entry right now, right here. Now, I'm not missing another opportunity because I'm streaming, which happened a couple of times so far. So let's have a look. I'm gonna need to enter this. Okay, let's talk about this trade real quick. Now, the reason I want to re-enter here is because, again, we saw yesterday that the inverted fair value gaps are holding, and now we have one here on a lower time frame and one down here on a higher time frame. I think one is on the 15-minute. Yes, this is on the 15-minute. This one is on the 5-minute. Okay, so another thing, we have a buy zone here that we left down here. So while I'm explaining, I'm also gonna open my Bluffin account where you guys know I take my trades. Let's have a look. One sec. Yes, I'm logged in. At least I don't have to okay, so this is Bitcoin. Am I on the right asset right now? You know, I'm so used to trading on my phone. Okay, so price is dropping a bit, so that's not bad. So the thing with this trade is, right, where I'm looking at it, it could go lower, and I'm happy, you know, with that. I'm happy with all this. I don't want to see it trade lower actually than this, because then it will be concerning. So right now, I think for me, that's a perfect entry actually on a high leverage right here. Market order, let me see how much I'm risking. Amount in USDT, please. You guys need to wait for me to enter this if you don't mind. Okay, I'm long right now, so entry would be, can we move this please down? Entry would be tick 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 tick. Let's have a look at my exact entry. Yeah, it's pretty much here. So I'm long right now, you guys, because I don't want to miss this entry. I think it's a good opportunity. So what am I aiming for here? We're gonna discuss this right now. So with this entry, I wanna get this liquidity on a 15-minute time frame. By the way, let's get back the chat because I can't see you guys anymore. Okay, legit is here. Sim S Zimi. Hello, legends. Cuckoo, Hubert is here as well. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, okay, so this is the trade that I want to take today because I want to chase this liquidity on a 15-minute time frame up here, and we can see that price just manipulated. It almost got the liquidity, but then it dropped down. But I know that this is actually where it wants to go. Now, from here, a little bit of drop is actually okay. Within this stop loss, actually it's absolutely fine, because we're essentially trading in between Asia high and Asia low. So it's quite possible, right, that this won't be the actual entry and price will drop down, take these two lows and then reverse. So I'm prepared for that. But another scenario is also that price could drop and reject from the 0.5 of the price leg that we're trading. And then, you know, that's something that I also would like to see. But anything below the 0.5, now we're aiming for Asia low. So if that happens, if we move below the 0.5, that means now we're going to head for Asia low. And guess what? I have zero problem with that as well. Mute? No, I don't think I'm muted. Am I? Shay? Anyone? You guys let me know if everyone can hear me, because, you know, we've had a few issues before. But anyway, yes. So just to repeat, we don't want to go below the 0.5 too deep. We want to wick that zone if we go that deep. But if we start seeing any body closes below here, now it's very, very obvious that we want to take the Asia low down here. So then, you know, we have another buy zone, and then again, the inverted fair value gap that held last night could see another tap. So that's absolutely possible. But anyway, I want to participate in that because I'm pretty sure that this is just a manipulation move that is then going to reverse and take, you know, this high. But then the interesting part is going to be once we get up to that liquidity up here. This is where the interesting part begins, because once we get up to that liquidity, as I'm predicting, then on a higher time frame, which is the daily, let's adjust this chart a little bit. On a higher time frame, which is the daily, right? We have here we have an inverted fair value gap that is signaling shorts. So when price trades in that inverted fair value gap, that is going to signal to us that we might see some continuation for shorts from here. Not to mention that on top of that, we have a massive sell zone up here that could also be respected, right? The only reason why this could not hold is in a case of where we already took the previous week low and then we're going to aim for the previous week high, which is also still absolutely valid short from here, because that would mean that we're just going to wick that area. And guess what? Above that area, what else do we have? We have a massive resistance on a higher time frame, which is the daily. All this, you know, red dotted line. You guys, you're so patient with me. You know, I have huge problems speaking and like expressing myself, but you know, I'm on YouTube, which is kind of weird, and I think it's working out. Like, I practice a lot, but yeah, so it's fine. But okay, so just to summarize, let's remove the sweep signal so we don't see the error up here. We're basically still bearish, like it or not, on a shorter time frame. So ideally, what we want to see is we want to see price trade up within the inverted fair value gap, see if it holds. There is another resistance here at around 85,295. So basically, let's look at this as one big bull trap, and then we can see a reversal from here. Another scenario is, because we have this massive block over here, which is a sell zone, and we have the previous week high above it and resistance just above that. Another scenario is that we could continue up and take this high. Right now, all we want to do is on a lower time frame, we want to find a long in this area. Now, this is a bit too strong of a move for me. I don't really believe that move right now. So I'm very confident with my long here. And yeah, I think even if we drop down to 82,461, like in this area, it's still gonna be quite nice to catch along from here, because all I want to get is this liquidity up here. Now, if you see, this is the kind of things that you won't see from a lot of traders talking about, and this is what the price legs that we're trading. Okay, so we identified, okay, let's go on a cleaner chart so maybe it's easier for you. On a cleaner chart, we've identified that this is a low, right? Because price bounced back and broke structure to the upside. So we've identified that this is a low. And now we're seeing that price is breaking structure to the downside. So we're identifying this as a high. So what would I normally do is I would normally draw my price leg, right, from the high to the low. And then I want to see what is price doing in this price leg over here, right? What is price doing? Because essentially, what is this mini leg, right? It's a bullish leg. So yesterday we were observing that price bounced from the 0.5, and usually when that happens, we tend to see price above this high, the last high. So that would be price above 88,860. Cypher Trade is here for the grapes. Yes. So, right. And since we've identified that and we know how to trade these price legs, if we have a bounce from the 0.5, we're getting a newer high. If we don't get a bounce from the 0.5 and we start trading below the 0.236, now we're starting to look at a range, right? And we don't want to see price trade above here because now this is a range. And this is how usually I would look at these markets and price legs. So right now, it seems like we just bounced from the 0.5 and we're just coming back to retest it. So this is why I want to take a long here, because I actually want to believe this move. I actually want to believe this move because I have other confluences that are telling me that we still need to go a little bit higher. And that is what on the 15-minute we have liquidity up here that wasn't taken, right? So I want to see price rejecting from here and coming back up to retest the new areas that are areas of liquidity, areas of resistance, right? Zones of sell, etc., etc. Now, if we go back on the 4-hour, we also want to believe this move. Because why? We want to believe this move because we want this low to be the reason why this high is taken up here, right? Essentially, that's what we're looking for. And then once this happened, we're happily going to take a massive sell from here. And we're expecting the markets to dump. Now, the thing to look out for is that, yes, we have the Liberation Day tomorrow, whatever. So that could mean that we can get some even further manipulation, right? We can get some range before tomorrow because the markets are pretty uncertain right now. Let's look at NASDAQ a little bit and see what's happening. Okay, well, NASDAQ is also, even without me having marked everything, I just have this support zone on NASDAQ using my indicators on a higher time frame. And then I'm seeing that price is retesting that zone right here. So I want to see price trade higher. And if I open my other indicators, okay, so on the 4-hour is showing that NASDAQ is actually bearish. So this could be a false move, right? This could be a false move, but we have to take our chances when we evaluate that it's a good idea to do so, right? Because if you think about it, how the 4-hour strategy works is once we have the sweep and then we're bearish, we don't want to see any fractals being created. So this fractal here that was created, that is showing me that this could invalidate the setup, in fact, right? So that could actually turn back and invalidate the setup because once we get a target on the 4-hour, we don't want to see any new fractals developing. If we start seeing any new fractals developing, that means that price could potentially reverse. But anyway, we're going to start the trading course somewhere in April. You guys are going to be experts by then on all of these things. But it's very important to look at equities also for overall bias, right? And the overall bias for equities is not looking that good. This area here needs to hold, because if it doesn't hold, this is going to tell us that NASDAQ is going to drop down and take this liquidity right here on a daily time frame, which is daily time frame is a very, very, very serious draw on liquidity. So that's why we're extremely cautious trading right now and making any trading decisions. Okay, let's go back on the busy chart and see how the trade is doing. And remember also what we spoke about. When we were reviewing the higher time frame for Bitcoin, right? We were reviewing the monthly time frame. And we said that March is going to close as a doji. And this is exactly what happened. Closed as a doji with like a big wick. And then we said that in April, we're looking to fill that wick and potentially take the high. This is going to be a perfect scenario for Bitcoin, and for our strategy is going to confirm that everything we do is absolutely on point with the markets. Okay, was this my entry? Let's review. How are we doing? Okay, not so bad. I took the trade on very high leverage actually, but that is still all right. We have a bit of space. Legit finally getting the indicators after the stream. Legit was just making for he was just waiting for 20% discount. That is so crazy. Anyway, legit enjoy the indicators now. All right, you guys. So again, repetition. This is our areas where we can reverse right now. It's either here, it was either here, or we're retesting the inverted fair value gap from yesterday that held so nicely. We have another support zone here on the 4-hour. So we might as well just go take the Asia low and then reverse. This is also going to be something that we might see. Now, let's move on a chart that is not so busy and see how this price is trading right now. Okay. All right. So we're having one bullish fair value gap that is being mitigated right now. So we don't really want to see any fair value gaps developing in that move over here. So we need to watch closely for the next candle. I really would like ideally for this bearish candle to reverse and to turn bullish, because if it closes bearish, it's going to signal to us that probably there is a little bit more space for price to drop, and I don't want to see that. I want to see this candle reverse. It's quite a big candle, but it's very possible that we're gonna see a wick, because this is not just any zone. This is the 0.5 of the price leg that we're currently trading, and we need to see a reaction, right? We need to see a reaction. More to that, we have another 4-hour order block here that I've marked. So it's kind of like a good reaction so far from price, which is what I want to see. Sugar Cookie is laughing. Yes, I know. Legit is very cheap. Legit is absolutely cheap. Let's have a look at Sol, because we were discussing Sol. Oh yeah, my entry for Sol is a little bit lower. Here, the reason for that is because we have this liquidity on a higher time frame, which is the 4-hour down here. So I have a limit order for Sol at the liquidity, and then the support is on $120. So yeah, my entry is at 121.75 for a long to take that high, and then we have even more liquidity up here. So catching a Sol is actually going to be very liquid. Yes, cheeky. Yes, I'm joking. You're not cheap. Legit is my male assistant, and Sugar Cookie is my female assistant. So yeah, we wanna see a reverse right now here. We wanna leave that liquidity down here, and we wanna see price reverse right now, take some highs, and then on Sol we can actually find some really good shorts. We were discussing that with a Discord earlier, right? Because what do we have here? We have a nice inverted fair value gap entry down here. This is on a daily. This is on a daily. So we want to see price reverse here and come up, and then potentially we can take a short from up here, which is around $134.5. That's what I want to see on Sol, right? I want to see price trade up, and then I take a short from around this area. Of course, this is going to be coordinated with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is also going to be in a short zone once we reach here. So Solana has a fair value gap, inverted fair value gap for short. Bitcoin has inverted fair value gap for short. So these are all good signals for me, right? All good signals for me. Now let's go on a lower time frame to see how the trade is doing. Still drawing. Let's remove the indicators. What can we remove? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so we're seeing a reaction right now from Let's move this a little bit. As you can see, price is reacting quite nicely from the 0.5 down here, and I want to see that continuation. And actually, this is a pretty good reaction. Okay, this is a pretty good reaction. We have a low that has traded into a buy zone, and then we have the order block here that's now essentially a breaker block, okay, for this move to the downside, and price traded straight through it. So I want to see a retest down here. So the breaker block coincides also with an area of support. So I want to see this move up now, close bullish above this area of support or resistance, whatever. And then I want price to drop down, retest that area, and continue higher. This is the long that we're playing right now. Does that make sense, everyone? Legit is also a community therapist. Yes, that's also true. This morning we were having addiction talks in Discord. Everyone is very passionate about nicotine addiction, caffeine addiction. Where are your TPs? For what exactly? For Bitcoin? For Bitcoin, my TP is the 15-minute liquidity up here. So that is 84,621 up here. I want to see that. I want to see that liquidity gone. Right. But it's gonna be tricky. The zone has to hold. It's a good try in my opinion, honestly, because yeah, the zone needs to hold, and we also I need my I need my entry. Last night I gave it to you guys on Discord, but I was going to bed, so I didn't take. So now I think it's the second opportunity that I don't wanna miss. I am at hireable AR long. AR, let's have a look. AR, is that ARR or just AR? Like, what is it? This one maybe. Oh, actually I had it. Wait, I had it in my list. Okay. One thing I don't know is how to like add a symbol without like deleting it from my chart and having to add it like at the end of my list. This is so funny though, but I do that. All right, first of all, as per usual, what I tend to do is, of course, I go on the 4-hour and I want to see where we are. Okay, so I'm looking at the Binance chart right now, which is usually pretty correct. So it's showing me a higher target, and that price traded up to the higher target and didn't take the high. What is that telling you? If you compare that to Bitcoin right now, what is that telling you? Well, that's simply telling you, okay, on Bitcoin, we have the 15-minute liquidity up here. We traded almost through it, and then we rejected. Manipulation, right? So I think the long here is also valid. So yeah, I think it's a valid long. And the good thing is that even here, we took the Asia low. So I think we're good to go to take that high. And I'd probably like take profits up here, to be fair. I'll take profits up here because this is also a zone of breakage, right? This is a zone of break of structure. So you never know, right? You never know. You might see bull trap and then continuation, or you just might actually reject from the zone and continue lower. So that's another thing that could happen, right? With AR. Edit watch list to organize your list. Yes, I know how to organize my list, but like, I mean, when I have to look for a specific symbol within like this, I don't know, 5,000. Yeah, no problem, Velen. 5,000 symbols that I have is just, oh my God. Let's go on a higher time frame, look for Velen if there is any. Oh, look at that. I actually have set some alarms for R. Okay, Evelyn, this might be your lucky day. Yeah, so AR, I'm pretty sure I set these alarms because I saw some liquidity that I was very happy with. Oh yes, this one. So the weekly liquidity here on AR is what caught my eye, and weekly liquidity using my indicators is very, very strong. So I tend to go for it. So, and again, if you don't have the indicators, we have 20% running today for April Fools. You guys go and grab your indicators. They're usually $20. Now with the 20%, they're, I don't know, 16 or something. So for AR, I have these two zones marked here. This is where I want to long from, or start looking for longs, right? So first one is $5.1, second one is $4.065, and once price reaches in these areas, I want to see how price reacts, and potentially I want to look for some longs. But don't forget that even this low is not protected here. So yeah, we want to see how this goes. But ideally, for this high to be taken, we don't want to go too deep below. We want to protect this low, right? And then come up and take that weekly liquidity. Weekly liquidity is just, it's perfect. It's perfect. And this is going to be actually a very good trade. If we catch it from here to here, that's like 8x, right? It's like 877.2%. That's really good. And usually when you have strong liquidity like this, sometimes you tend to just, you know, wick it and then go down. Other times you tend to even run a bit higher. But I would, hi Marcos, oh my god, Marcos is here. You know what? I've been manifesting Marcos because when I was doing lives for Lady of Crypto, he would give me advice, and because, you know, I have trouble speaking or whatever, and he would tell me, oh, you're using too many words such as right and like just, I don't know, words that have no meaning. And I've been watching my videos and I was like, oh my god, if Marcos sees me, he's gonna be so disappointed in me. I swear on God, I thought yesterday that Marcos is gonna give me a hard time. But yeah, so okay, this is for our, let's go back, review what's happening with our trade right now. Let's go on a 15 minutes. All right, this is a lot of marking. I know you guys are going nuts and that's a lot for you, but this is what it is. You know, we need all of these markings, so that's how we need to work. Ah, Marcus is proud of me. All right, you guys, so Villain will buy me a present if we do 8x. Yes, remember that liquidity, Villain, and market, because it's gonna go. All right, good. So we're going into profit now. This is good. This is good. I like to see even more reaction. Everything is working out as per plan. I'm pretty confident in this trade, and if it doesn't work out, I think it was a very, very solid go. This is how I like to trade. That's why I'm not stressing out, because, you know, I've done everything I could possibly do using everything that I know. So I want to teach you guys all these things, and I'm going to make sure that everyone can participate in the course that's interested, whether they can afford it or not. We'll figure something out for everyone. But yeah, I'm not going to do any crazy things like $8,000 or like, you know, nothing insane like that. I just want everyone who genuinely wants to learn and, you know, stay with me in my community to have the opportunity to do so, you know, because it's so crazy out there. Like, you pay people so much money and then you get no help, you get lost, you lose even more money. It's so hard. You're doing great, Gabby. Wishing you all the best and success. Thank you, Jed or Jed. Jet is new here. Everyone who's new here, please like and subscribe, because we're having a lot of fun. We have a great mini, tiny, small community. So you guys are all welcome to join. Okay, let's review a little bit here. Actually, let's get rid of... should we get rid of some markings to see how this is going on a lower time frame? Evaluate a little bit. Okay. We want this this candle to close a little bit higher, because if it doesn't, then that means that we're potentially now going to go lower, and we don't want to see that. because that would mean that now we're heading for Asia low, which is fine. We can do that, but I want to see the candle close a bit higher. In fact, that will be 83,278, because when that happens, that will invalidate any inverted fair value gaps on the bearish side, which we don't want to see form. We don't want to see form. Okay, you guys, I think that's fine. We're running 35 minutes. We're not going to do any other outs today and stuff like that. So if you're interested in any reviews and if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to join Discord. Paul Premier, US stock market isn't looking pretty. No, it's not looking pretty at all, which is the reason why we're, me entirely scalping is what I'm doing right now. Like, I'm entirely only purely scalping. I'm not hoping for any entry that is going to run, I don't know, 6,000%, because the markets are very uncertain and they're gonna be choppy. So you need to be ready for that. And I think scalping is the best way you can do that right now. And then once we get in a major area, like, I don't know, Bitcoin 72, 73, 75, right? These areas are where we can catch the big gainers. And also for outs such as R, right? I marked my areas. I want to see price drop to these levels, and then I want to be able to catch a very good long. So I've marked a lot of altcoins. I have so many alerts on all of them. Areas that are just unthinkable. Some of them are even 30% away, like down, but from current entry. But still, I think it's a very good opportunity to catch along like that. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be looking for. Thank you guys for being here so much, and I'll see you tomorrow or on Discord. If you are on Discord, I do daily reviews in the morning for Bitcoin, and I send all the trades that I take throughout the day for my community there as well. So you guys are more than welcome to join. All right, Taz Pinball, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much. Bye.